I'm catching quite a lot of heat on X at the moment for a tweet where I expressed my thoughts on dogs encroaching on public life. There are inconsiderate, irresponsible dog owners bringing their pets into public spaces, including restaurants, coffee shops, you name it, there are dogs there. And it's just considered socially acceptable now, where humans are treated as second-class citizens to dogs. And we're just supposed to think that it's cute that they're drooling and shedding everywhere and jumping on people and licking people. It's just that's the socially acceptable thing to do now. And this specific video is really what started it all. When the boys go out for pizza and one buddy brings his dog, now the dog scored the prime begging spot at the table. And you can see this dog is poking his head through the hole in the table made for the umbrella, and they're just feeding the dog with their fingers all these pieces of pizza.
I don't want to get the copyright. There we go. Let's get him.
Getting their fingers covered in dog saliva and feces for a cute little TikTok moment. Okay? And I'll just give my take. This was what I said in response. I'm with Muslims on the dog issue. Dogs have encroached way too far into public life. The owners think it's cute when they jump on people, drool and shed everywhere. They don't even bother training them. They need to GTFO of coffee shops and restaurants at the bare minimum. Not to mention the low-grade noise pollution. Just sharing a house with a dog seems hellish for that reason alone. The panting, snorting, sniffing, licking, the sound of their claws dragging on vinyl floors, the collar jingling. If you're able to tolerate that, I assume you don't mind smoke alarm chirps either. And don't get me started on the smell. If you own a dog, especially one that's medium to large, your entire house smells like the dog. You might not notice it anymore, but other people certainly can. You've ceded your home turf to a wild animal, and sharing a bed with a dog, foul. And I stand by everything.
Yeah,
I stand by everything I said.
You went off in that one.
I'm standing on business, and a lot of people were having a conniption over it. A lot of the dog lovers, the dog cells, actually. That's what they're being called now.
Yeah, the dog cells.
So,
wait, is that an actual name?
There's been some soy jacks made about dog cells, yeah.
At the very least, can you guys see where I'm coming from?
Oh, I'm been with you on the dog question.
Okay.
I like dogs. Like my family has a dog, but it's like nothing's ever been improved by like an animal being present when there could be a human instead. And it's like I like them. They're fun. I like other people's dogs generally, but it's like sharing a bed with one sounds just disgusting.
I will anytime I see a dog in person, if he's not wearing a vest, I will ask permission before petting the dog. I do love to do so. I don't know if I would want one in the dinner table there, like
licking everything.
Like now, if the dog was at the feet of the owner, right? That's fine. If it's and again, that's if it's somebody I know, but out in public, if it's one that's, the owner can't control it and the dog's just roaming around. But that's never been my experience. Like I've had pretty good experiences out in public with dogs. Like it's just never been my experience, but I see people talk about it all the time on here. But I knew that this one was gonna rub people the wrong way. But also people were kind of straw manning you, and they were making it about stuff that wasn't necessarily about.
Oh yeah.
I did see one reply where someone said Muslims have encroached too far into public life.
Yeah, and then Phil responded saying, "I'm with the Muslims on women speaking."
I asked you. I said, "Do you want to save this one for Thursday? Then you and Phil can go at it."
But
it could be rehashed.
The funny thing about Phil's response is that he doesn't even believe that. I believe everything I said.
Yeah.
He was just joking.
The dog at a dinner table. I mean, look, again, I'll say, like, I like dogs generally, but there's nothing more annoying than a dog begging for food. I mean, it is, like, infuriating.
Yeah. And they're
babies
training
don't do
the dog
that.
to behave that way.
And it's another thing is people, like, feel like they can just speak about babies. Like, they can say whatever they want about them. Mm-hmm. And then you say one bad thing about a dog and everyone jumps on you.
Oh, yeah. The parents of young children are absolutely dragged just for existing, just for their children being children and crying on a plane or what have you. And the dog owners get cut more slack than that. That's outrageous.
Oh, yeah. You get on a plane, you're next to a baby, you're just like, okay, well, you know, you got to get somewhere. You get on a plane, you're next to a dog. The entire flight, I'm like, seriously, who is this?
And it's always emotional support. It's not actually like used for someone with a real disability. They're like, oh, I have like anxiety and I
Right.
need to travel with my emotional support
crazy.
animal.
It's crazy.
So yeah, it's just gone too far. It needs to stop, and they certainly shouldn't be in restaurants under any circumstances.
Yeah, like what happened to just an outdoor dog? He's outside. He barks at intruders. Generally, he has a dog house. Like now they're inside. They have like their own room. They get like pedicures. They go.
They're
to the
treated like
restaurants.
royalty.
It's it's crazy.
Like they're the Queen of Sheba.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. It really is.
And you're right. Some people were strawmanning me. They were saying, oh, you hate dogs. I was only criticizing the owners of those dogs.
Yeah.
I do think dogs are annoying, but I don't hate them for just being dogs. They can't help it. They're wild animals. But the dog owners certainly should be shamed for this behavior. It's incredibly inconsiderate and uncivilized and unsanitary, if you ask me, to, you know, sleep in a bed with a dog. They roll around in their own poo. They lick their buttholes. Like,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not part of the family. And by the way, this is controversial. Dogs don't love you.
It's true.
Okay? They don't.
Okay,
And it's because they're
people are
not
gonna disagree with
it's
you on
because
that.
they're not rational creatures. Only a rational creature can love, truly, in the true sense of the word. The love that your dog has for you, and I'm sorry if this is hard for you to hear, it's conditional. It's because you're the being that provides for them, that feeds them. And if you pass your dog off to some other owner, another family, they would be perfectly fine. And you ascribe this humanoid interior life to your pet, be it a dog, cat, lizard, whatever. They don't have that. That's a fairy tale, okay? And the companionship that you get from your dog, that's perfectly fine. Just keep it the hell away from me.
This might be the most controversial take I've heard since Seamus said that dogs don't have souls. Is that what he said?
He doesn't believe that pets go to heaven because
Okay.
they don't have souls.
But yeah,
Look, I saw a movie
the
that
grass
said
doesn't go to heaven.
I saw a movie that said the total opposite. It was called All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Well, there's no definitive teaching on that in the Catholic Church, and like I guess if you believe that
Wait, the Catholics teach that it's ambiguous. They don't know if dogs go to heaven or not.
there's no teaching on something, you're free to believe either way.
Oh.
It is
that.
true.
They need a new
I see
ecumenical
so many-
council correct
Yeah.
the dog question.
We need to have a definitive
well, because
teaching on that.
Pope Francis wasn't he like, oh, I lift the veil of like a pram open and there's a dog instead of a baby in there.
He said that happened
It
to
was
him.
Pope Francis, yeah, and he was like, I go in there to bless a baby, and I
man.
open it and there's a dog, and he's like, what the? You know?
Yeah, I think
He's like a big problem. And people got
did,
on him about it.
Francis did talk about that, about how people have been replacing children with pets.
Yeah,
Look,
that was
people in the chat are definitely disagreeing with you on this. They're saying, says, no, that's not true. Dogs do love you. Somebody says everybody's love is conditional. I mean, the first thing I thought of when you said that is like the divorce rate tells me that there's plenty of conditional
Look,
love out there. So
For instance, a mother's love for her child is unconditional. It is. And that's because it's a human relationship. And I don't think that a relationship between a human owner and their pet is ever going to compare.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, the concession is like, are dogs more capable of bonding with humans than any other animal? It's like, yes, that's probably true. For whatever reason, they are. You know, they're quite used to being around humans, and they do have a certain level of respect or admiration. But yeah, their brain's the size of a tangerine. Like, they don't have a soul. They don't think very deeply about things. They can't even recognize themselves in a mirror.
And they've been bred for that purpose as
Right,
well.
yes.
Bred for companionship.
So it's like, again, I love I think dogs are cool. Like, I really like working dogs. Like, I think Belgian Malinois are awesome. But like,
military dogs.
yeah, like you know, and like I'll like tear up when they have like you know, a bomb sniffing dog like get cremated or they give him like a medal. Like, that's nice. I like dogs. It's just it's too much. And I'm tired. I get annoyed when I go to people's houses and there's a dog jumping on me and
So
Oh,
okay,
isn't that
to
cute?
your- to your-
You know, it's not
No.
cute.
to your points about the stuff in public, I would agree. To the rest of the stuff, I feel like so much of the world we live in these days is a social construct that people have created in their own minds. It's prevalent in social media. And if people have this construct in their mind about what their dog means to them, I just don't have a problem with it. In fact, I'm okay with it 110% because you know what? That is vastly different in a world that feels like empty and devoid of love for so many people these days. That bothers me less than if they bring the dog in public and then it's just jumping on people that, you know, maybe they have an allergy, all that. Like, that's all civic stuff. The rest of it, like, I don't have the bandwidth to actually entertain the idea about whether a dog is ensouled or not. I say if the dog makes you happy, then...
Well, to say nothing of the question of, like, do dogs go to heaven or whatever, we do live in a culture that is veering towards straight up worship of dogs and of pets in general. And that does need to stop. I am a cat person, but I would never encourage someone to humanize their cat.
Yeah. That's
mental illness. And cats are gross in their own ways. I won't deny that. But they're not as annoying. They're not being brought to restaurants. They're not jumping on people. They're certainly not, in the case of pit bulls, killing people. And it's always the pit bull owners that respond to sentiments like this with a photo of their pit bull saying, "How could you hate that cute little face?" They're not cute. I would even be able to understand your perspective if pit bulls were cute, but they're not. They look like naked mole rats with the strength of a 300-pound man. And actually, they look worse than that.
The pit bull thing sets people. There's 3 things that set people off. It's the pit bull question, which, like, I got mobbed on IRL after slamming pit bulls, which is just true. It's like data. And then 2 is weed. If you come after weed people, come unglued.
Yep.
And then the 3rd is if someone's broke and they have a lot of tattoos and you point out that they have like $10,000 worth of tattoos, like all hell breaks loose. I mean, it is like unreal.
Yeah.
You can insult people's mothers. You can insult their
dog.
dog.
I've never seen the tattoo, like the broke person tattoo debate, but the other 2 I've definitely
There's not a
seen.
debate. It's like, that's fine if you want that. But if you can just admit, like, hey, you could have saved 10 grand if you didn't get, like, you know, wall to walls of tattoos. People come unglued about it, and it's like, but people don't get unglued about stuff you should get unglued about, like your flag getting burned.
I will say I prefer bigger dogs to little dogs.
I agree with that.
Do either of you plan on being dog owners in the future?
We do.
I would, like, I have an outdoor dog. I think, like, for like that have, like, I like.
If you just had like the land.
We already,
like, I like dogs, but they need to have like a task. Like, they need to be doing something. Something you like. It's not enough to just be hanging out. Like, I think the children will already be mouths to feed. Why would you want like an additional one that can't grow up and learn English?
Me and Olivia already planned ages ago that when we got married, we were going to get a corgi, and I said we're going to name it Crouton.
That could be nice.
Corgis are cute.
Corgis
like,
are
I
nice.
can be objective because I'm not a dog person. I can be objective about that. Like, corgis are cute. I love Cavalier King Charles Spaniels.
Yeah.
I had a couple of them growing up, and
I think Rhodesian Ridgebacks are beautiful. Like, they're beautiful dogs.
that's great. You know, like, have a dog if you want to have a dog and you like dogs. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying the absolute, like, worship of these creatures has to stop.
Okay.
Like,
This was.
I will say that is one of those things where it felt like that was early days of the internet that felt almost anti-human, in that people would speak about animals with the sentimentality that they wouldn't even speak of their own family members with.
Yeah.
And it felt like a replacement for human connection.
It is.
Now that's, again, I can't make larger, like, I wish I had some examples in front of me, but it is one of those things where I felt like it started on Instagram, where Instagram pages would screenshot and then post things about dogs that felt like it was designed to make you dislike humans and worship at the altar of pets.
Yeah, where people are like, "Oh, dogs are more loyal than humans."
Yes,
It's like,
yeah.
What are you talking about? Like,
And it felt like an infantilization.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying that that's actually the truth. I'm saying it felt like its job was to infantilize the public and make them see human relationships as not worth your time.
inferior.
Just give up because humans are always going to
Right.
let you down. A pet will never
right.
let you down.
That's exactly.
Right.
Which felt nefarious to me.
They're replacing, like, I found this is the quote from Pope Francis. This is 2022. He says, "I was talking about the demographic winter that we have today. Many couples do not have children because they do not want to, or because they just have one, but they have 2 dogs, 2 cats." It's like, he says they're taking the place of the children. because like it siphons off, like if especially for women, it siphons off their like maternal instinct.
Dog mom.
And they're able to channel it into an animal that ultimately will never be able to reciprocate what a child can, but it can get you close enough that it's like it makes the voice in the back of your head go away for a little bit.
That dog is not going to be with you at your deathbed. We have a 20 from Corey Anderson. I love my dogs. They are part of my family, but I love my son more than my dogs. Dogs shouldn't be at indoor restaurants. Outdoor is acceptable. Dogs have a soul and they go to heaven. God sent dogs to earth to look after us.
You should have a debate.
This is the misunderstanding that people have, though. Like, in my worldview, animals do exist for humans.
Yes.
They should not take precedence over humans. This is the problem that is plaguing society today. And just the same way that mistreating animals is a sign of sociopathy, preferring animals over human beings is a sign of sociopathy.
It's very third world.
Yes.
Yeah,
A
where
good
it's
example in the movies, everybody's seen the revenge movies where like a guy's family is killed and he goes after the bad guys who killed his wife or his kids. But none seems to have resonated more with people than the death of the dog in John Wick, which he then goes and kills like 100. Now, granted, it was the final gift from his dead wife, so it's extrapolated. But I would be willing to bet that most people don't even remember that part. That the wife somehow found a beyond the grave delivery service that delivers a dog after you die. Press X to doubt on that to begin with. But most people don't remember that part. They remember that the dog was killed. And then John Wick, and they're like 147 Russians. Makes sense to me. But I was on his side on that one. I'm like, look, that was the last gift from his dying wife. You killed the dog. You don't kill the dog.
Just to punctuate this segment, I would like to show a skit from Delaney Rowe on TikTok about the most annoying types of dog owners. Because again, this segment is ultimately about criticizing dog owners, not dogs.
The dogs are just caught in the crossfire.
Can we play the music? Is the music? Can we play the? Okay. There we go.
Restaurant, but I think people really appreciate the entertainment. Stanley! I hope you guys don't mind that I brought Stanley. I know it's a fancy restaurant, but I think people really appreciate the entertainment. Stanley, no! Stanley, no! Stanley, down! Stanley, down! I'm sorry, you don't mind, do you? He doesn't shed, I promise. He's one of those dogs with human hair. Is that water or pee? Is that water or pee? That's pee. Kiss on the lips. Kiss on the lips. The exact same way about Toyotas, yeah. Say please, baby, say please. Go to a bar afterwards, yeah. Stanley loves tequila. I love to party. I'm a party dog. You could just go to a bar that allows dogs. Like, that'd be ideal. Or else I do have to go home.
Oh, yeah, please.
No Thank
you. Looks like our dog tick's popular.
Yeah, somebody else mentioned in the chat, thank you for mentioning it, mentioned Independence Day when, Will Smith's girlfriend and the son are running from the flaming fireball created by the aliens destroying the building, and the dog comes running after them. The dog dives into the room just in time. That scene never made any sense either. The fire would have engulfed the room. They didn't even get the doors shut in time.
We still haven't seen the worst part, though.
All right, here we go.
Cranky mode. The dog said it, not me. Stanley's got a red rocket. Not at the dinner table. It's impressive, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true. I've seen. Yeah, that's how it is. Licking pee and whatever.
And then, of course, these are the people who say, like, kids are the worst.
Yeah.
They're so gross. At least kids don't...
You're 100% right. You're allowed to, like, really hate kids on airplanes and really hate kids yelling in restaurants. But if you were to say it about a dog, you'd be heavily criticized.
Oh, if you complain about kids, like, crying on a plane... If you're too broke to afford a private jet, just say that.
Real.
Okay?
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.